Okay, we're taking a look at 0-7 from Algebra 1, and we're using the IXL F1 perimeter. Um, so we're starting to look into a couple consecutive sections on measurement. Basically, for this one, you need to have an understanding of what perimeter is, and then be able to reason out some missing values to solve these questions. So let's kind of talk about first what perimeter is. Perimeter is the total length around a shape. So basically where I'm drawing right now, I should have used the straight line tool, but you guys get the picture. That length. Here, I'll be smart about it this time. So the total length of this line plus this one and plus this fourth one. So it's not always four things. It could be a triangle with three things added together. It could be a pentagon with five things, etc. So what we need to do is start adding together to get perimeter. It's a sum of those sides. So what we can think about right now is that this is 7, this is 5. We don't have values listed over here, but we know this is a parallelogram. So if you remember your shapes, although this is a bit more complicated than the triangle that I threw at you a second ago. Basically, the opposite sides are parallel, meaning if this is 5, this is also 5, so let's label that. And if this is 7, the one opposite is also 7. So now that we know all four, we can add them together. If you want to use a calculator, go for it. 7 plus 7 plus 5 plus 5 totals to be 24. And it gives us the unit here. In some cases, it may ask you to list the unit, so just be careful and know this one, for example, is centimeters. All right, let's clear that off. Perimeter of this rectangle. Well, if you remember, rectangle, like a parallelogram, this side and the opposite one are the same, so this is also 12. This side and the opposite are the same, so that's also going to be 19. Just like the last one, we're going to add all four of those together. 19 plus 12 plus 19 plus 12 is 62. So you don't want to forget those sides that they don't tell you right off the bat. Okay, let's see what we're looking at. We might need to jump ahead. Okay, so find the value of u. So it doesn't show anything here, but it does tell us that it is a square. With a square, we know that all sides are the same. So you might see in the future a marking like this. When they have a single dash, all the single dashed sides are the same. Or if, for example, if I did this, that turns it into a rectangle. Those would be the same and these would be the same. That's not the case here though. Just an example. If the total, so this side plus this one plus this third one plus this fourth one is 48, and they're all the same, I can take that 48 divided by 4, just kind of reason that one out, and know that we're looking at 12 per side, so u would be 12. If we wanted to test that, we could do 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 and get 48 back. Okay. Let's jump a level here. Finding the perimeter. Okay, this is just a different shape, but same idea here. 20 plus 20 plus 20, it lists all of them. 20 and 20 is 40, plus another 20 is 60. Okay. Okay, so this time these opposite sides are different, but because they use the same letter here and here, we know they're the same. So let's actually write this one out, and we'll kind of show the thought process, and then we'll probably jump ahead one more time after this. 2.2 plus 7.3 plus u. Well, if I have two of them, that's the same thing as saying 2 times u. And we know the whole thing equals, it tells us at the bottom there, 22.3. Okay. So if we, that 3 is weird. if we start to add things together, the 2.2 and the 7.3, that's going to give us 9.5. So we're doing some equation solving now. Plus, and you, I guess theoretically could guess and check to get to here, but this is going to be kind of the foolproof method. Okay, you notice this time I didn't put the little dot in the middle. A number next to a letter like that still means multiplication, just so you guys know. Okay, when we are solving like this, we kind of undo the order of operations. So remember that like PEMDAS, we're going backwards through that. So subtraction and addition are at the end of that. So we're going to try to get rid of any addition or subtraction first, meaning we're going to subtract 9.5 to undo that addition that we have there. We also need to do that to the other side, and when I say the other side, what I mean is the other side of the equal sign. So we put a line down the middle there and subtract 9.5 from the 22.3 as well. When we do that, that cancels because it's a plus and a minus of the same number. We have 2 times u left over equals 22.3 minus 9.5 is 12.8. And then we're going to have one more step here, which is to get rid of the 2 so we figure out what u is. Remember, even though you don't see it, this is multiplication. That's why we're dividing on both sides. And we're dividing by 2 because we want these to cancel. When we do that, we're finally going to be left with just u equals 12.8 divided by 2 is 6.4. So we can go to our blank now, type in 6.4, you can barely see it there, but 6.4, and we got it, awesome. Okay, let's jump one more level, make sure we're not missing anything, but that might have covered it. Okay, let's talk one word problem real quick. A rectangle, we can even draw that out if we want. I would suggest doing something like this, maybe just on a piece of paper. Sides of 20 and 3, well, this is the short one from our picture, so let's make that the 3 and 20. We know that even though they only told us 2 numbers, we know that, we know a rectangle has kind of like matching sides like this, 20 and 20 and 3 and 3. If we add all those together, 20 plus 20 is 40. This would be 43. This would be 46. So it just doesn't give you the visual there. All right, can we go any further? Fractions, I wouldn't ask you to do this, but it would be the same idea. We would just add up all the fractions, and you could refer back to the rational operations video that I have if you want to do that. I believe it's 0, 4, and maybe 0, 5 together. But we'll call it a wrap there. That's perimeter. Look for area and volume next. See you guys.